Hey guys, what's up? This is Kirby. This is Alex. Welcome to Passing Money. Today we're gonna talk about the economy, recessions, things that we've dealt with, and I know I personally dealt with before going through the hardships of the financial crisis. We're gonna dabble through a lot of different areas, and we're gonna cover things like recession, the economy, inflation, the housing market, the stock market, also just giving you ideas and insight on what we're doing inside the markets in different areas of our life, and hopefully give you a better understanding of some ways that you can help implement this in your life to make it better for you, or use some of the tools that we have, again, implement them in your life, and then make the transition in a recession, not a recession, of smoother processes or smoother alternative for you, instead of just sitting here waiting to see what the world is going to let you do. You start taking the bull by the horns and telling the world what you're going to do.
Right. Yeah. So, we can jump right into maybe the job markets. Maybe that's going to be more relevant to everyone watching this podcast. I would say most of our viewers have a job, and different companies that we're seeing already begin to lay off employees, and different markets that are being affected. Like, I know in the industry I'm working in right now, which is transportation distribution, I'm already seeing how gas prices are starting to really have a big impact in my company that I work for, and how it can actually, if gas prices keep rising, it's going to have a huger impact. And, to the point where, so just to give an explanation, in our company, we have contractors that are distributing, different products for us. And, instead of, they're not company drivers, they're actually contracted out. So the contractors are paid a fee per mile. And then there's a fuel surcharge, which is a small reimbursement for the fuel that they're paying. But the biggest thing is that pay per mile. Even though there's a small fuel reimbursement, it's not covering the entire cost. So we're starting to see, as this pay that they're getting per mile has not been increased yet, you're starting to see drivers make less and less and less profit as fuel prices go up, even with the fuel reimbursement. And at this rate currently, they're really getting hit hard from that, especially because these contractors are trying to operate it, owner operators is what we call them, as, their own business. And it's affecting them to the point where hiring drivers to run under them is becoming nearly impossible, because either other companies are increasing their mileage or their rate per mileage, and we haven't in probably close to a year now. So that's starting to have a big effect on our drivers. They can't pay for, having their own employees driving the trucks for them. And at this rate, if gas prices keep going up and the company can't afford to pay more per mile, these guys are going to have to start driving their own trucks, or just may not even be able to drive at all. I mean, we'll see, but I can already see this is affecting the distribution business and transportation heavily.
And what's going on in your company, that's just a microcosm of what's going on all over the employment front. I mean, just like you just said, that it's costing more input costs, or costing more to operate the vehicle. So that's cutting into the driver's income or the owner's profits. That's what's going on in every American household today. I mean, let's say they're not working in the transportation business. They're just working a 9-to-5 office job. But those gas prices getting to and from the office or taking the kids to school, it's more input costs for them in gas prices. So that's less discretionary money, and money to go pay bills, go out, take trips, clothes, food, water. And then you add on top of that the cost for the food, cost for clothes, cost for everything is going up. So it's cutting away from their actual discretionary funds. And the price of goods and fuel and real estate and rent and everything is going up way faster than the price increases in a paycheck. So it's becoming harder on more people. And I don't think that the real economy meaning the ordinary, everyday person, understands that impact, because again, don't forget we was tied down with COVID for 2 years, and everybody's been locked in the house, and they just want to. It's the summer; they want to get out and they want to enjoy their freedom. But I think when the rubber hits the road and when it start really coming to light how bad households are financially and how their internal company, like household economic structure is, they won't start realizing it until it's time to go back to that everyday task of, taking the kids to school every day. So I'm thinking around that September, October quarter, that time frame, that's when it's really going to start to hit the real economy. As you see in the stock market and things like that, the stock market is down 20% for the S&P 500, 35% for the NASDAQ, because they've already seen in the future that this stuff was going to happen. But I still think we got a couple more months in the real economy to see what's going on. But for the viewers that's watching, if they're watching this video now, and it will be way before, the September, October timeframe, understand that this is what we're going through now, but nobody really is really talking about it. You see the fear mongers on YouTube and social media, things like this, saying recession's coming. I think you did a video, Alex, so that was pretty funny. Still like that. But yes, a recession is coming, but there's ways to navigate it and get out of it. But you have to understand actually what a recession is. A recession is a GDP, an economic contraction for 2 consecutive quarters. So 2 consecutive quarters is a quarter lasts 3 months. It's 4 quarters in a year. 3 months is a quarter. January, February, and March, we had a GDP contraction. So now, depending on what information comes out in April, May, and June, and that report will come out the first week of July, of what the economic bifurcation or how well the spending or the GDP was. If we contract again in the second quarter of the year, we are technically in a recession. Now, what numbers are going to come out, I don't know, but with the rising price of gas, the rising price of rents, the rising price of food, I know the demand has waned, not dramatically, but the demand has waned because people don't have enough money to actually buy the same level or the same amount of goods in, let's say, groceries, because gas prices are high. They don't have the same discretionary funds to go out and buy cars and vehicles and other investments in their personal house because the cost of food and gas and rent is higher. So it's going to be interesting to see what those numbers come out in July, and then see how the world, or mainly the United States, even though whatever's going on in the United States affects the world, want to see how people start capitulating or changing their mindset around it. But I believe we are in a technical recession right now. That's what I believe. Now, the numbers might come out in July and say, oh no, we grew by 0.03%. That really keeps us out of the recession technically. But one thing you got to do is look around and hear people talking about how gas prices is affecting them financially, how the higher rent prices are affecting them financially, how the higher grocery prices are affecting them financially. So when you go through all those different dynamics like that, if everybody's getting affected and their pay is not increasing up to that level, then that's hurting them financially, and they will have to do more with less money, because the priorities or their needs have to be met before their wants. And it's going to be a hard thing to juggle to swallow, especially after the kids go back to school, and that's an extra transportation trips that they have to take starting in August, September, depending on when your school start, than they are now in the summer.